Hello my beautiful people, you are welcome back to the Afrofood Diary. In today's video we'll be making okra soup. Okra is a very versatile soup, but today I'll show you how I make it with oxtail. Stay tuned and let's do this together. Here I've already boiled my oxtail and some beef, which are the protein of choice. In that pot I've got some of the bigger chunks of the spices I used in steaming the meat, like the onions. So I'm going to be blending everything alongside this tatashe. Yeah, I'm going to cut it up now into what you can see here and blend everything smooth. You can see. So in this bowl I have the okra, which is like the key player in this recipe. I have this much in this bowl. The quantity of okra you have will determine the amount of soup you get at the end of the day. Okay, this is actually a meal prep for me, so I have that much okra, which I'll go and cut off camera. Meanwhile, the meat, the oxtail and beef, they are grilling here, and I went in to flip them onto the other side to grill properly. So after that, while the oxtail is still grilling, the beef was done, and I decided to cut it into smaller pieces. You know those tiny meat you get inside soup? That is exactly what we'll achieve with the beef. Reason I'm cutting them into smaller pieces right here. It's very hot though, so you want to be careful. So finally the oxtail themselves, they are ready, and you can see that beautiful golden brown color on them. Yeah, so and this is the chopped meat. My okra I've cut up into this size. I don't know, I prefer to see the okra in my soup, but back in the day how my mom taught me to cut this is like this. You know how they slice it into four, you slice the pod into four and then cut out these tiny pieces out of it. Yeah, so I have those two. That's what we'll be cooking with. This is the amount of oxtail we have, and this is the beef cut into smaller pieces. We have our blended tatashe with the onions from the steamed meat. Here is our meat stock, okay? And then here is our crayfish alternative. I have shared the video of how I made that. And then I have some onions. That's like one medium-sized purple onion cut. I have a Habanero pepper there. I have seasoning cubes and salt. Okay, let's cook. Meanwhile, I also have palm oil. Before I forget, I have just this amount, which is like about 2 to 3 tablespoons, not so much, since we already have that tatashe and it's colorful enough for our soup. Okay, so meanwhile our pot is heated. Ouch, that is hot. And then I added the palm oil first. So my heat is on medium, not so high, and I wouldn't let that oil heat for too long before I toss in the onions. So I will saute that onions for a couple of seconds. After which I'll pour in the blended tatashe. So I'll give that a quick stir. And then I'll cover it to steam for just 2 minutes. Meanwhile, this is the vegetable of choice. I'll be using kale for this particular recipe. You can replace this with ugu or spinach. So our sauce, our soup sauce, has been cooking for 2 minutes like I told us. And you see the oil float on top, and the sauce come together like everything is gelling. So this is the right time to add, first the bigger okra chunks. Yeah, so I'm going to saute that the okra, continue to stir it vigorously until it develops that the stretchy nature. You can see it's already forming. This took not more than 1 to 2 minutes since the sauce is already hot. So once that is done, I'll go in and pour the cut up beef. I'll also add the oxtail, the grilled oxtail too, and stir everything together. This method of okra soup is so fast to put together. The next thing I'll be doing is to add about 3 teaspoons of the crayfish alternative, which you can replace with your crayfish if you have some. So next I added the habanero pepper. Feel free to use as much as you can tolerate. Next is the seasoning cubes, which were a little bit hard to crush. A very big shout out to Stella Marix TV. Stella, thank you so much. You are a lady with a big heart. Guys, check Stella out. She is an amazing content creator. She motivates you and she brings speakers to talk to you if you are looking to start in a business or just to talk about life in general. Stella Marix is the place to go to. So after I mix that in, I tossed in the one I cut like my mom taught me to. Please tell me in the comment section, how do you prefer your okra? Big chunks or crushed or even blended? Let me know, please. So next I poured in the meat stock and I'll gently combine everything together right now. So once that is done, I cover the pot for 4 minutes, only 4 minutes, while I go ahead and slice up the kale leaves. It came pre-cut like this, but I feel like it's a little too big in size, so I'm going to chop it like my mom taught me. Oh my god. But if you have use your chopping board, okay, if you don't mind. So I'll cut it up into small tiny pieces like this for the soup. A lot of things that our mothers do these days, we just we do our own, try to make life easier. My mom had this particular sharp knife without a head that she uses in chopping vegetables. Oh my god, anytime I'm chopping mine on a chopping board, I'll just remember it and laugh. So at this point, after just 4 minutes, you don't want to overcook your okra, I went in to stir it together, and then it was the perfect time to add the kale leaves. Remember, you can use ugu, you can use spinach, just any leafy fresh vegetable that is available to you. The best would have been ugu, like we know in Nigeria, but kale is also a very nutritious, healthy vegetable you can incorporate into your soups any day. It feels like ugu, but the taste is different from ugu, obviously. Yeah, so I'll stir everything together at this point, and our soup is popping. This time around I had lowered my heat as well, from all the way from 6-7 down to 4-3. okay. Next I will taste for salt to ensure that everything is in order. So I needed to add a little bit more salt. You do as you want to from this point. Taste to see that everything is in order. You can choose to add one more seasoning cube. You can use salt. Sure, adjust everything to your own taste, and our soup is ready. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me in today's episode. I really hope you learned 1 or 2 things and you would want to give this a try. Use any protein of your choice. Oxtail just happened to be my choice for today. Thank you so much for always being there. I appreciate you. Do have a lovely day. Bye-bye.